source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. Our breaking top story this evening: the Alaska House of Representatives has unanimously passed SB 23, liquid natural gas trucking legislation.
Now, after a unanimous initial vote at 5:40 p.m., the House offered up a reconsideration vote just a few moments later. The final vote was 38 yeas, 0 noes, and one more excused member.
Now, the News Center will have more on this breaking story tonight on News Center Final. That is at 11 p.m. In other news this evening, an Alaska-based soldier convicted of attempted espionage faces life in prison when he goes before a U.S. Army sentencing panel on Monday. The military on Thursday announced 24-year-old specialist William Colton Millay pleaded guilty to attempted espionage, soliciting another to commit espionage, issuing a false statement, and communicating national defense information.
Millay was being held at Joint Base Lewis McChord in Washington State and had been returned to Alaska for a hearing when he decided to plead guilty. Millay faces penalties from prison time to dishonorable discharge. The military police officer was arrested in October of 2011.
A federal jury is in its second day of deliberations in the civil trial involving 2 former Fairbanks City police officers who claim they were improperly fired. The case dates back to 2008. Former Lieutenant Doug Wharton and Officer Al Hutton are seeking compensation for lost wages and benefits, as well as punitive damages. They argue they were dismissed in retaliation for going to former Fairbanks City Mayor Terry Sturl in 2008 to talk about workplace safety, union business, and nepotism within the department. Sturl, who served as city mayor from 2007 through 2010, reiterated her claims aired about the bosses instead. Back in 2010, in an exclusive interview with the News Center, Hutton says it was his hope filing civil action could have been avoided. Of course, the News Center will have more information on the jury's decision when it becomes available.
No bail for a 21-year-old Fairbanks man accused of raping an 18-year-old woman late Tuesday in a secluded area off of College Road. But in an exclusive interview with the News Center, Tristan Stidston, his fiancée, calls the charges against him, quote, trumped up, end quote. Stidston is charged with 2 counts of first-degree sexual assault and a single count of tampering with physical evidence. Court records say Stidston and the woman, identified as PLE, were acquaintances and that he had picked her up to go to exercise at a local fitness center shortly before the alleged assault took place. Now, the woman was able to call a friend after the assault happened who came and picked her up. The friend also wrote down the license plates to Stidston's car. During an interview with state troopers, Stidston denied sexual contact with the woman, words that were echoed today by Stidston's fiancée, Brittany Brave.
I honestly think it's trumped up charges, but I don't honestly know, but I don't think it was rape at all.
Heard the penalties facing him.
Up to 99 years in jail.
Very painful to hear that.
I really don't think he did this, so it's not him. He wouldn't do this.
Alaska's 2 U.S. senators this morning voted against allowing Majority Leader Harry Reid's gun control legislation to advance, but the measure had enough support to now be considered by the full chamber. Republican Senator Lisa Murkowski and Democrat Senator Mark Begich were among the 31 senators who opposed allowing the measure to proceed. The vote came 4 months after a gunman killed 20 first graders and 6 staffers at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, spurring President Obama and legislators to address firearms violence.
Alaska's Attorney General would be asked to sue, blocking any federal laws or regulations that would violate an Alaskan's right to bear arms under a bill that the Senate had passed. The version of House Bill 69 that passed 17-3 is far different from that which earlier passed the House. The biggest change strikes a provision that would have made it a felony for a federal official to try to enforce laws that would restrict ownership of firearms or require that firearms be registered. The bill now says state and local government agencies cannot help implement presidential orders or federal laws that infringe on Second Amendment rights.
If you violate our Constitution, if you violate our citizens by going outside the Constitution, our Attorney General will go and defend the citizens.
I understand the intent behind it, which is to expand our gun rights as far as we possibly can, but this bill just goes too far and really may mislead people into believing that the guns they possess are somehow free of federal regulation.
When we come back, Senator Mark Begich has some strong words for North Korea.
Also, Senator Lisa Murkowski questions the Commerce Secretary regarding floating Japanese tsunami debris. Those stories and more, stay with us.
This edition of the Fairbanks Evening News is brought to you by Prospector Outfitters, Kendall Auto of Fairbanks, Spadard Builder Supply, and by LeBren's Landscaping.
Welcome back to the Fairbanks Evening News. Research compiled by the University of Alaska Anchorage's Justice Center shows a rise in assaults on Alaska police officers and troopers since 2002. Now, between 2002 and 2011, people used their hands, fist, or feet in more than 70% of assaults on police. More than 40% used a firearm in assaults on Alaska State Troopers. Captain Stephen Arlo with the Troopers says it used to be a rarity that a trooper was shot or had to use deadly force, but that is no longer the case. The research does show that the number of assaults on an officer with a gun or cutting instrument has declined since 2002.
North Korea continued its threats against South Korea today on state television, claiming they are ready to fire on the South and additionally threatening the United States. The U.S. military has deployed warships and a floating missile interceptor system off the coast of South Korea, in addition to approving 14 additional interceptors at Fort Greely right here in the interior. The timing of North Korea's threats coincide with automatic military budget cuts, including the cancellation of military exercises and the grounding of aircraft squadrons due to the federal sequester. Alaska U.S. Senator Mark Begich does not believe the U.S. military readiness will be impacted should they be needed.
If North Korea thinks this is a sign of any weakness on our part, they need to reassess their opinion, because there is no question in my mind that if North Korea does anything on purpose or by accident that impacts us in any security level, we are prepared and ready, even with these budget cuts.
Senator Lisa Murkowski today questioned Acting Commerce Secretary Rebecca Blank on critical ocean policies facing Alaskan coastal communities during an appropriations subcommittee hearing. The senator was told that NOAA's National Marine Debris Removal Program is being increased 20%. Topics included tsunami marine debris relief, issues surrounding the North Pacific Groundfish Observer Program, and an update on the controversial Coastal and Marine Spatial Planning Program. In her questioning, Senator Murkowski pressed Secretary Blank on how NOAA planned to respond to incoming tsunami marine debris floating west to the United States.
An estimated 1.5 million tons of debris is floating out there in the ocean. We've seen it come up on the shores in Hawaii, out in Oregon, in Alaska. We are seeing it, and we know that that it is still coming our way years after the fact.
This particular budget has $6 million in it for marine debris activities. That's $1 million increase over the budget of last year. As you also know, the Japanese government has pledged $5 million, which I think NOAA will be administering.
The University of Alaska Fairbanks School of Management wants to hike tuition for its students. The proposal by Dean Mark Herman would boost tuition by 25% for the School of Management upper division and graduate courses starting in the year 2014-2015. In a letter to the University of Alaska Board of Regents, Herman stated that the school needs more revenue. State funding and access across the board tuition increases haven't been enough to offset anticipate deficits at the School of Management. The board will consider the proposal at their meeting today and Friday in Sitka.
For 22 years, an idea that was first thought up by local Fairbanks and Stan Zielinski has generated more than $350,000 for the local community food bank. The Empty Bowls project will be this Saturday from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. at the Fairbanks Community Food Bank. The fundraiser will feature bowls that have been created by the Fairbanks Potters Guild. Close to 1,200 bowls of all shapes and sizes will be on display. A silent auction will also be held with additional unique bowls available for sale to the public.
It's a wonderful opportunity we've got the Fairbanks Potters Guild comes together and donates approximately 1,000 bowls every year. And this year we have a bonus of 1,200 bowls from Ian Wilkinson. He's the one that's up at UAF doing his exhibition. And they come here, they're all going to be laid out in tables so you can buy them. They range from $10 to $25. Beautiful, beautiful bowls. Then we also have a silent auction for about 75 or so kind of specialty bowls.
Now, Ann also says that based on previous history, the bowls go fast. So she advises everybody out there to get there as soon as you can.
All right.
All right, let's switch over to sports now. Plenty going on right now.
Oh, yeah.
Even baseball? What?
Yeah.
And Joe's gearing up for Arctic Man.
Yes, I'm everywhere.
He's everywhere.
It's going to be weekend full events going on. The Ice Dogs playoffs going on, Arctic Man, and baseball. Yep, we visit North Pole High Schools. They prepare for their first games of the year this weekend. That and a whole lot more, including interior athletes going to college. So stick around for sports. Hello, Interior Alaska. Joe Cook here in the sports seat for you this evening. It's time for some Channel 11 sports. Shortly after Arisha Talley made her college choice for basketball yesterday, 2 cross-country athletes for the West Valley Wolfpack signed their national letters of intent as well. Kuba Zenda will be going to the Big Sky Conference, signing with Portland State University's Division I cross-country program. And Dorothy O'Donnell will stay close to home, signing with the Nanics of UAF. Zenda won a state title in 2011, the first to do that for West Valley since 1979, and was a big part of the Wolfpack getting team titles at regionals and state last year. Zender will help turn around the Vikings, who finished last in the Big Sky Conference last season. O'Donnell, the former hurdler, was second in the state as a junior, a top 10 runner in regionals, and top 20 in the state meet last year. O'Donnell joins a Nanic squad that finished 20th in the NCAA West Regionals last season. A season-ending basketball event will have interior seniors lacing up one more time. The Association of Alaska Basketball Coaches Senior All-Star Games are this weekend. Both girls and boys teams will play on Friday and Saturday night. Friday's games are at Grace Christian High School in Anchorage, and on Saturday, Wasilla High School. Representing the interior will be Lathrop's Tremont Williams, Arisha Talley, and Jasmine White. Hutchinson will send 3A Player of the Year Mimi Wood and stellar senior Darren Silas. The Patriots will have point guard Reagan Smothers donning the red, white, and blue once more, and Mr. Big Shot Vlad Didenko of Delta Junction rounds out the interior senior basketball all-stars. There will also be a 3-point and dunk contest, as well as an exposure camp for the girls. 24 boys and 24 girls were selected for the all-star teams. And obviously not ideal conditions for baseball, but the North Pole Patriots will be the first interior team to get on the diamond this season. The Patriots will play Sitka 3 times and Thunder Mountain twice this weekend. Today they traveled south to play Sitka for their opener. It will also open their eyes to competition on the baseball field instead of the gym. Head coach Russ Harrell and the rest of the North Pole coaching staff were emphasizing the mental part of baseball a lot to their players at last night's walkthrough practice. The mental aspect of the game will be important in these early games and the rest of the season, given that the Patriots were only a few plays away from winning some close games, which could have secured them a state tournament berth. The Patriots think that will change this year.
Last year, we just made a few mistakes here and there, which really cost us some close games. This year, we just need to make those plays, and we should be fine.
We're pretty solid through the lineup. I mean, everyone makes contact good, all parts of the field. It'll help. I mean, it's definitely going to be our strong point. We get a strong defense, too. So, I mean, we're all around.
Oh, we've been having some good hard practices, and I'd say about half the team are returning players, which helps a lot. We have some good young upcoming talent on the team this year, so we hope to be able to compete with everybody.
And tomorrow night in the Big Dipper, a second season starts for the Ice Dogs. It's put up or shut up time. Your Ice Dogs host the rival Kenai Brown Bears at 7:30 tomorrow for Game 1 of this 5-game series. The Brown Bears split the last 2 Fairbanks home games of the regular season. Kenai is led by Ryan Walker, the reigning NAHL West Division Player of the Week, and Zach Lazaro, who has been a thorn in the Ice Dogs side, registering a hat trick in Soldotna and a decisive goal that gave Kenai an 8-7 edge in the ERA Cup. But the Ice Dogs won that. The Ice Dogs have thrown all that out of the ice rink. It's playoff time, and they feel that the key to capturing a win in Game 1 against this very familiar opponent is going to be the attention to detail.
It's a new season, and it's playoff hockey. Mistakes are magnified, and they need to be quickly forgotten about as well. So our focus has just been on what we need to do in terms of fine-tuning our game to be successful.
The thing the coach always talks about is the neutral zone. Like, with us, games are lost and won in the neutral zone, and I feel that if we take care of the puck, then we should be in a good spot.
Yeah, everyone's just focused a little more, and the energy level is just higher for everyone. In practice, the pace is up, and it's just exciting.
And that'll do it for sports tonight. Thanks for rocking with me for a little while. Tomorrow, I'll be at Arctic Man, bringing you a special report for Saturday's Sportscast. And for more KTVF Sports, you can just go to Twitter, YouTube, webcenter11.com, and our mobile app. Stay cool, Alaska. Mike Schultz has your full weather forecast coming up next. We'll catch you next time.
Hey everyone, welcome back into the Fbx Evening News. Mike Schultz with you once again for a look at weather. You know, it wasn't that bad today, but there is some more good news on the horizon. We'll tell you about that in just a little bit. First of all, let's look at our photograph for tonight. This one's sent in by Jay Strong. We had a couple weeks ago, we had that really cool phenomena, and you can see the upside down rainbow, we called it, but it's called a circumzenithal arc, which is too big of a word. Anyway, if you have a photograph to send, by all means, send it to Mike Schultz at KTVF11.com, and that includes pictures of the geese over at Creamer's Field. So let's see if we can get some of those coming in. Here's what's going on as far as the numbers out at the airport right now. A high today, 15. Right now, 14. Our normal high, 41 this time of year. Record high, 1997, 59 that day. 32 below in 1911. Sunrise exactly at 6:30 this morning. Sun sets this evening at 9:18, which gives us 14 hours and 47 minutes of daylight, a gain of 7 more minutes from yesterday. What's going on our satellite picture? Pretty good storm moving across southeast Alaska, but all in all, not too bad. There is a little bit of a small area of low pressure moving down from the north. Could give us a few snow showers tonight, but after that, things get better and better, and I'll tell you more about that in just a little bit. What's going on across the rest of the state right now? Well, for the most part, pretty quiet weather pattern. Clouds across the northern half of the state. Some rain shower activity over around the southeastern sections. Still some rain and snow showers around Kodiak and Cold Bay. Otherwise, nice weather up and down the west coast and the north slope. Lower 48 weather tonight, a lot to talk about. A big storm making a lot of noise across much of the country, affecting much of the country. In fact, this storm is bringing damaging thunderstorms with hail and tornadoes and strong winds, and it's all going to be happening across Alabama and Georgia tonight, and it's all showing up really well on the satellite picture. You can see the area of low pressure here, but the frontal system associated with it marching across parts of Alabama and Georgia as we speak. There was a tornado this afternoon in Mississippi, unfortunately, that killed an individual, and you can see out to the west, things aren't looking too bad. Again, the jet stream, the main factor, bringing a lot of moisture across from the Pacific Ocean, and then helping to bring some cold air in across the Great Lakes, and down to the south, of course, we'll have showers and thunderstorm activity. Well, back to Alaska for tomorrow. Things a lot more calmer. Mostly sunny skies for Barrow, partly cloudy in Nome, and flurries expected in Fort Yukon. Here in the interior, we'll look at some morning flurries becoming partly cloudy by afternoon for Fairbanks and Haiti. Over the southeastern sections, mixed rain and snow for Juneau and Ketchikan, and over the southwest part of the state, it looks like snow showers for Cold Bay, and then mostly sunny at Bethel and Kodiak. Not too bad in the Anchorage Bowl area. Also, lots of sunshine for Anchorage, Homer, and Valdez. Okay, time once again for our kids' weather. All this week we've been talking with the kids from Badger Road Elementary School, but tonight we're going to hear from their teacher.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Nicholson, and this is my 4th grade class here at Badger Road Elementary School. And we have a weather fact to share with you. Class, did you know that Yuma, Arizona is the sunniest place in the United States? They average 242 days a year of sunny days.
And next week, we'll be visiting with the kids from Barnett Elementary School. Real quickly, a look at those road conditions, especially, we'll talk about the road conditions and tell you, Joe, that things look pretty good heading on down the Richardson Highway. And then we'll also be looking at nice weather elsewhere around the interior, so not too bad. 9 degrees below tonight, cloudy, a few scattered snow showers. Tomorrow's forecast, 23 degrees. Morning snow flurries becoming partly cloudy. And as far as our 5-day outlook, as you can see here, looking at temperatures rising to near 40 degrees by next Wednesday. That's a relief. Finally, looking at temperatures rising nicely to the mid-30s. Overnight lows will also be rising from 10 degrees to around 12 degrees as the warmer air moves in, and I think this might be the warmer air we've been looking for to come in and make itself a regular resident. Let's hope so.
Yeah, but still minus 12 for overnight lows going into the weekend. That's still cold.
Well, it's not too bad.
Yeah, I guess we've dealt with worse, right, Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, with that, that'll wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. As always, we're glad you could join us.
Okay, it's that time again for Watch and Win with Woodard. Tonight's piece of jewelry is a brooch made of snowflake obsidian. Now make sure to go to webcenter11.com and enter for your chance to win a gift certificate worth $350 to Pristine's.
Nice.
Purdy.
You can join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime at webcenter11.com.
That'll do it from all of us here at the News Center. Have a great night. We're going to leave you with
Ducks.